So top 3 things that a zookeeper from San Diego can teach a home buyer in today's market. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it was in the New York Post this week that there was this zookeeper in San Diego that got bit by this super venomous, poisonous snake that was like from Western Africa or Central Africa. See, that's the problem when you bring species here from all over the world. It's nice you keep them in a cage and everything, but that little snake isn't biting anybody if it's just hanging out in its tree in Central Africa, right? Not doing a thing, but here it is. So he bites this guy, right? And turns out that it's like one of the world's most poisonous, venomous snakes, and there's no anti-venom. Okay, so reading through the article, took him to the hospital. They basically said that most people who get bit by this kind of snake die in 2 or 3 days. So I'm just kind of waiting for the news to kind of trickle down through the pipeline here. Hopefully he's really okay and everything worked out. But here's what you can learn from him. Number 1 is that, all snakes are not the same. Okay, it's like this little clear, I don't know, yellowish snake. It might not look all that dangerous. It might not look as dangerous as that other snake next to it that's got like reds and yellows and blues and all kinds of things. But, you have to know that all snakes are not the same. Just like you have to understand that all realtors are not the same. Some are going to be poisonous and dangerous, and some are actually going to help you and get you the home. You have to know going in that even though maybe a lot of realtors look alike, and certainly some behave a little bit snake-ish, present company excluded, that you have to know that they're not all the same, even though they might look the same. Do your research. Number 2, you have to have the right equipment. I don't know what this guy was doing. He went into the cage, that kind of thing. I don't know if he had the gloves on, the Kevlar gloves. I would have had like a bodysuit made out of like chainmail or something on. So you have to have the right equipment. You have to have the right pre-approval letter. You have to have the right attorney in place. You have to have the right equipment going in if you want to go into battle, because we are going into battle with some snakes, literally with some snakes. And number 3, and the most important thing of all of these things, all the things for the zookeeper and all the things for us as buyers out there and as agents out there, number 1 thing, the most important thing, I said it might not be number 3, but it's actually the most important thing, is know the environment. Know the environment. You are dealing with the most deadly snake that if it bites you, you're probably going to die. This isn't a rattlesnake where, okay, I get some anti-venom, it sucks a little bit, but all right. This isn't a garden snake where there's no problem at all. Know your environment. Right now, in this housing market, Hoboken, Jersey City, most of the country, it's very, very, very competitive. You're not getting big discounts. You're simply not getting big discounts. Anybody who thinks I'm going in there looking for the deal, oh, I'm going to offer 10% less. We'll start with a low ball offer, 10% less. Guess what you get? You get bitten. In this case, you get bitten by a snake. In the other case, you don't get the house. You might even think, oh, well, I'll just come in and I'll bid 3% less. And, just get the conversation started. Well, guess what? The next guy who came in at full price, didn't start to nickel and dime or negotiate, and they get the house, and you don't. Know your environment. The zookeeper, I'm sure he thought he did everything right, but here you are, you get a little complacent, you think you know something, you don't. In that case, the zookeeper should have known, 1 bite and I'm dead. In this case, buyers need to know. There is no playing around in this game. We're not even having a discussion about discounts, period. There are no discounts, period. It's period. Stop. Don't even talk about it. Hey, if it's listed at 1.1 million, let's not even have a conversation at under $1 million on this. Let's not even do it. If you think it's worth less than $1 million, Let's find another house that you think is valued at the price that they're offering, or even that's valued over the price that they're offering. So to recap, for what a Zookeeper in San Diego can teach you, a buyer in this market. Number one, all snakes are not the same. You better have an expert realtor on your side. Number two, you have to have the right equipment. You have to have the right team behind you. You have to have the right Kevlar vest and gloves on. And number three, you have to know the environment. You have to know the environment. Check out my weekly market report. It's coming up in the next segment. Every week on the Brian Murray Show, on the MurrayPropertyGroup.com, on the blog section, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my LinkedIn, on my YouTube, I'm doing market analysis. Market reports, not just numbers, but market analysis. You have to know what's going on right here in your local market today. This has been the discussion point.